So as of yesterday, Canada's brand new law, Bill C9, has come into effect. This has gotten a whole bunch of incredibly whiny conservatives very angry. This video is a little old, but I wanted to make a video about it when it first came out. And in this video, which I don't really think is from a conservative, I just think it's from a guy, whatever. But I have been seeing conservatives being just incredibly furious with this all across my timeline. I couldn't find anything right now, but this is a second channel video, so I don't really care anymore. And I just wanted to say that no, you're wrong, unfortunately. Bill C9 is not like the end of Canadian free speech, even though we really didn't ever have free speech, unfortunately. Just so we're all on the same page here, I'm coming at this from a, I used to be a conservative, but I still am in favor of free speech and stuff like that. I still want that, but the bill just doesn't do that, unfortunately. It's actually a lot more boring than that. So going into the actual bill, all it does is say that you can't intimidate a group of people or obstruct a group of people from like trying to access some sort of like church or any event if it's like meant for a specific group of people. And it defines a specific group of people as like anyone here. So you can't intimidate people from going to like a church. You can't obstruct people from going to a church. It does also do another thing, but really it doesn't really do anything actually like law-wise. It just has some definitions. But the big thing that it does is it makes it so that you can't use the good faith religious opinion defense anymore. And so previously the criminal code included a specific defense for certain hate propaganda offenses when the accused claimed they were expressing in good faith an opinion on a religious subject or a belief based on a religious text, which, I mean, I don't know why we would still have that, honestly. Like if you really do meet the definition and like the requirements to be charged with like some like offense, the fact that you could just get out of it by saying like, oh, I was just expressing in good faith some like Christian doctrine, which, by the way, I really don't even believe the Bible, the New Testament at least, is all that homophobic, but whatever, that does seem fair. You probably shouldn't be able to do that. Just like, oh, get a jail free card, literally in this case. But still, a whole bunch of videos by conservatives, mainly this video. This is the video that I wanted to talk about, have come out. This is from a while ago, though. But in this video, she says one important thing.
We already have laws against harassment, violence, and threats. We don't need more.
Well, we do, right? One thing is that I see as kind of fair is like, yeah, if someone should be convicted of a crime, or charged with a crime at least, and then it should be the case that they can just say, oh, I'm in this faith, I can get out of it. That just doesn't seem fair to me. You can have that opinion and stuff like that. No one is saying that you can't have the opinion, especially even in this thing right here. It says that right here, the repeal of this defense does not criminalize religious expression, which is protected under the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. It does not limit anyone's ability to express religious belief in good faith. You are not banned from being Christian, like so many conservatives have said. You just can't express that hatred to a human being, like a specific group. The example everyone thinks about is gay people, right? You can't be hateful to gay people or whatever, and then just use the in a way that would already have gotten you charged, by the way, and then just say, oh, I'm a Christian, so I can get out of it. That doesn't seem fair to me. And you can't promote hatred using some new symbols now. So you can't use like whatever this is. I'm guessing it might be this swastika. I don't know. You can't use a noose now to like promote hatred against individuals of a identifiable group, and it defines identifiable group right here. It defines group distinguished by color, race, religion, national or ethnic origin, age, sexual, sexual orientation, gender, identity or expression, or mental or physical disability. And you can't but you could still use this stuff like in public life. It says here, public displays of such symbols for legitimate purposes such as educational, artistic, or journalistic purposes are not captured by this offense. So literally like everything that I've been able to look into on this issue has just like come out as incredibly overblown or whatever, because of course it is. It's a law that is like targeting the expression of citizens in the 21st century. I am uncomfortable by this law. Just so we all know, I am uncomfortable by this law. As much as I am seemingly defending it right now, this law does make me uncomfortable, but it doesn't make me any less uncomfortable than like the fact that this already could have happened. The government can arrest you for whatever they want to. They can charge you with whatever they want to. They probably can't get a conviction, but that's what people come in for. I don't think people are going to I don't think people are going to get convicted for just doing what like conservatives say is like, oh, it's just being religious. This doesn't ban being religious. You know, you could be charged with a crime, but you could be charged with a crime weeks before. Like that doesn't change now. You can get charged for anything. You can be held in prison forever. You can get jailed for a very long time. I think that might not be true actually. I'm gonna Google that one sec. Actually, right here. In Canada, you can be kept in custody for up to 24 hours without a warrant before charges must be laid. All right, and in other countries, you can just be kept there for like months. Okay, this doesn't really change anything. But back to this video, specifically this video.
So they claim that Bill C9 will act as a shield from hate, but what does hate even mean? What is...
I went through so many videos of conservatives to figure out what I should talk about for this video, and time again, they kept saying, who even defines hate? What's even defined? The government can just define whatever it wants to. But like they don't actually have like the ability to like just Google it for 2 seconds. You Google it for 2 seconds and this is what comes up. Right at the bottom here, definition of hatred. The law adds a definition of hatred to the criminal code, baked into the law, by the way, that is based on Supreme Court of Canada jurisprudence currently followed by the courts. The law defines hatred as an emotion of intense and extreme nature that is clearly associated with vilification and detestation. The law also specifies what is not hatred, namely acts that solely humiliate, discredit, hurt, or offend. And again, the law doesn't ban hatred. I can hate whoever I want. It's my God-given right. Thank you, John A. McDonald. I'm kidding. You just can't you just can't harass people. You can't block people from going to churches. You can't intimidate people so that they can't go to an ethnic group sport event, right? If there's Indians in your community want to go play basketball on Sunday, you can't I'm gonna bomb the park or whatever. You can't just intimidate them from not going. This law does not do what anyone says it's doing. But whatever. And it feels like everyone is talking about this and everyone's getting so angry about this. And again, there are so many valid conversations to be had here. I want to make this very clear. This law does make me uncomfortable, but I'm not any more or less uncomfortable than I was a few days ago with the fact that the government can just kill whoever they want to, like that, if they really wanted to. If a police guy comes up here and says, hey, you look like you're resisting arrest there. That shirt's a little too black. Blah, blah, blah. He could just shoot me if he wants to, okay? I'm not any more or less uncomfortable with anything. Because of this law. I'm really not. A part of me is personally scared by the fact that I can't use hate symbols or whatever. Until I read this, public symbols for legitimate purposes, educational, artistic, or journalistic purposes are not captured by this offense. You can show stuff. You can, oh my God, swastika. Oh my God, SS logo. You can show this. It doesn't matter. You just can't be hateful with it. You can't be willingly promoting hate with it, it's just a different thing. I don't think that this is 1984. I don't think this is Orwellian. I don't think this is the end of freedom of speech in Canada as we've had it. I think it's just so much more boring than that. And I wish that could be the topic. I wish that could be, what the internet was talking about right now, as opposed to is this the end of Canada? Is this the end of freedom? Are they trying to ban religion? They're not. They're just being lame and boring again, like they always have been. I started out as a conservative on my political journey, and I am now I am on the left, I'll say that. But I still have that big value of mine that is I like freedom of speech. I think it's very important. However, I am bothered by the new age of internet and technology and all that, and how much little regulation there is when compared to other forms and other mediums of information, right? And with the printing press, there was a lot of disgusting slop that was put out there right after the invention of the printing press, and we started to regulate stuff. And I think that we do need to start going about regulating the internet like we have regulated previous things. Not as much, though. But I'm still very uncomfortable with that, too, because that gets into the sense of digital ID, which I'm not comfortable with at all. I think that, anytime the government has said, no, don't worry, guys, it's safe, 2 hours later, it's it's breached or whatever. But we do need to find some sort of way to combat some of the stuff that's being put out, because it is just pretty bad. All right. I know that we all like to say that is my Audacity recording audio? Yes, it is. Thank God, dude. I know that we like to say I know that we like to champion free speech and all that stuff. And I like to champion free speech too. That being said, it's just getting to be a lot. Like, it's like people could say anything, and it's really damaging, I think, democracy at this point. I think the United States has got it way worse than we do up here in Canada. I'll say that, to give some credence or whatever to conservatives. It's definitely not as bad as it is in the United States. But the president can go on live television and say the election was fake. That's a pretty important thing. It definitely wasn't, by the way. And if you disagree with that, you're out to lunch. And you are the reason why we cannot have freedom of speech. It is not smart people as the reason that we can't have free speech. It's dumb people. It's people who can't do their research, who can't think critically for 2 seconds online, who can't Google something for 5 seconds and come up with an answer that they'd rather spew online to 20,000 people. It's dumb people as the cause of why we can't have freedom of speech. But I want it badly. I would like freedom of speech. I like freedom of speech. I like being able to say anything I want without the government, coming down on me or coming in me. But there are... Whoa there, buddy. Slow down there, I guess. I just want to say that I don't like that, although I really appreciate free speech. I'm finishing up my point. Although I like free speech, I see the serious downsides that it has brought upon all of Western democracy, and I think we really need to find a way to come to terms with that. That isn't just getting rid of it, but also gives it a little bit of a check.